You see me enjoying life now, but baby, you just don't know how. I've conquered my fears, cried a bunch of tears, wasted a lot of years, but I find myself together with you. And baby, if we keep it real, all the way real, I look like a clown trying to hold you down, but it won't happen this time around. I'm not.
Can I do this one for me? No matter what the problem, this for me. You can't solve it. It will come, but don't you worry. No, no, it will work out for the good of them who love. It will work out, yeah, for the good of them who love. Ooh, it will work out for the good of them who love the Lord.
I've been here way too long, I'm ready to go. And if I never had bills, I never leave home. I'm tired of all these stupid customers and these dumbass rules that say I can't cuss back. You see me enjoying life now, but baby, you just don't know how. I've conquered my fears, cried a bunch of tears, wasted a lot of years, but I find myself together with you. And baby, if we keep it real, all the way real, I look like a clown trying to hold you down, but it won't happen this time around. I'm not mad at you. You know it's bad when I gotta pause my music. I gotta edit my music. I gotta get back in there and relay some of these songs. I got a lot of cuss words in these songs. I was going through it, y'all. Actually, I'm gonna release it the way it is. I just don't want YouTube and Facebook to remove my video because of the cuss words that's in there. I got a song about sex work. I got a song about being over somebody's games that they play. And I'm going to just release them and let them do what they do. My next single, though, the very next single that I'm releasing is Fly Me to the Moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. And I can't wait. That's coming out on October 11th. So make sure you get out there and get you a copy of this song. Stream it. My current single that's out is Sex in the Rain. Do I have a copy of that on here? Let me see if I got Sex in the Rain. Oh, yeah, I got everything else. Let me see if I got Sex in the Rain. Is that Sex in the Rain? That's not Sex in the Rain. Is that? No, that ain't Sex in the Rain. Anyway, no, I don't have Sex in the Rain on here. I had to get a copy of Sex in the Rain and put on here. Yeah, so Sex in the Rain is sitting right at like 88,000 streams. I went and looked at it again. And I need y'all to run that up. Get that up over 100,000 streams for that just one song. I thought that was so dope. That's my biggest streaming song to date. Now with my other songs, I have well over 100,000 streams, but I'm trying to get this one song up over 100,000 streams, and I think we can do that if you all just go play Sex in the Rain. I didn't say go have Sex in the Rain. Plus, it's hot outside, so ain't nobody we having sex in the heat storm shit. Anyway, tonight we are talking about divas that don't disappoint. Divas that don't disappoint. We talking about divas that sing, you know, divas that straight up bring it. And there's nothing like a good singing R&B diva. A good singing R&B diva has the capacity to make or break your evening. A good singing R&B diva has the capacity to make your date night. You know, a good singing R&B diva literally has the capacity to make and break a lot of things in your life. And so I want to encourage you when we talk about these people that we're going to talk about tonight. I want to encourage you to go listen to their music. Go stream, run their streams through the roof, share their music, make videos with their music. It's time for us to support us. It's time for us to start getting behind R&B, gospel. It's time for us to bring it on back home, child. Bring it on back home. And let's bring back good music. They'll make good music if we support good music. And I'm gonna say good music made by us. Good music made by us. So we're gonna talk about it tonight. I just want to talk about some divas that do not disappoint. I was supposed to have a special guest on this evening, but they had prior engagement and they won't be able to make it this evening. But if things change, they will join us before the end of the show. So, we look forward to that. That'll be none other than my Uncle Kyrie will be joining us. Now, our first diva that does not disappoint is also one of the older people on our list. And that is nobody else other than Auntie, great Auntie. She's a cooking great auntie. She's a restaurant owning auntie. Hallelujah. Gladys Knight. One thing I like about Gladys Knight. So not only does Gladys Knight sing down, and I want you to understand her vocal consistency is unmatched. When I think of Gladys Knight, the only person I think can match her vocal consistency, and I know I may get pushback for this, but the only person that can match a Gladys Knight's vocal consistency, and when I say vocal consistency, I mean every show they're going to hit every note they're supposed to hit. Every show they're going to sing the song the way the song is on the record. That's consistency when I think of consistency. Vocal consistency. So they're not in the studio doing things that they can't do in real life, right? They're not in the studio putting the song in A flat and they know dang well they need to be singing in C, natural. They're not doing that because you got a lot of that going on nowadays. You know, ain't a bunch of auto-tune on her voice, so she's gonna be able to hit the runs that she hit in the studio. When I think of the only person I think can match her vocally like that is who's the little short girl. She's an older diva as well. I don't have her picture though. I don't have her picture. She's shorter. Stephanie Mills. Stephanie Mills is also a consistent singing diva who is consistent live and in the studio. When she sings Feel Good All Over, she's going to hit all of them I Feel Good All Over. Same way Gladys Knight is going to hit Midnight Train to Georgia. She going to hit all of the Midnight Train to Georgia, you know. Whereas you have other singers that may sing higher, they may sing with a whole bunch of more oomph, as we like to call it. They may put a whole bunch of extra sauce on it, but you're not going to get that every show. You know, if they don't feel like hitting them notes, they're going to hit them every now and again, but they're not going to hit them the same every time. Whereas the Gladys Knight and the Stephanie Mills, they're going to give you that work every time they hit the stage. That is a Gladys Knight. And that is Lord, I almost had a Fantasia. That's a Gladys Knight and a Stephanie Mills. They're gonna give you that consistent work. If you're watching on YouTube, you feel like you want to come up, you want to share your opinion on an R&B diva that does not disappoint, feel free to click the link and join me here on the screen. All right. So we're talking about vocal consistency live and in the studio. Emotional delivery. See, a lot of times when you're dealing with singers, you got people that can sing good, but they don't really put that emotion in their voice. you know, and a person I feel like is guilty of that sometimes, and I get pushed back for this. But when I hear Kiki Wyatt is a singer. Girl can sing down, does things vocally with her voice, but to me, her emotion is always it's the same on every song. Versus someone like a Jazmine Sullivan, right? When you listen to a Jazmine Sullivan or a Fantasia, when you listen to a Fantasia or a Jazmine Sullivan, now they don't sing halfway as high as a Kiki Wyatt. They do not sing as high as Kiki Wyatt. Kiki Wyatt, I don't know about vocal acrobats. She may wow a crowd because she's singing so high. She may wow a crowd because she's singing so loud. Um, but a lot of times what we missing is that emotion. And that Jazmine Sullivan, every time she sings, what's the name of that song? I know the tagline is, you're gonna make a hole out of me. I don't know what the name of that song is, and I should. But when every time she sings that song, you get the emotion with it. Fantasia, every time she sings Free Yourself, you get the emotion behind the song. When a singer is able to take you where they are emotionally and you start feeling what they're feeling emotionally, that's a singer who has learned to embody the song and give you that interpretation. And I think Jazmine Sullivan is definitely a diva that does not disappoint in this area. You know, whereas let's see, Brandy, Brandy. I don't really feel like Brandy's voice gives a lot of emotional range. Brandy kills. Don't get me wrong. Brandy is a singer's singer. You feel me? Like Brandy sings. There's not many people that can hang with Brandy vocally. But when we start talking about emotional, raw emotion, feeling, translate the emotion translating to the record, I don't always feel like, girl like me, yes, yeah, yeah. I don't always feel like Brandy translates the emotion to the music. I don't always feel like that's a successful translation, even though she kills. Don't get me wrong. Brandy kills. She is definitely a diva that does not disappoint. If you want vocals, this is who you go to. But when we're talking about emotion and you're talking about somebody gonna take you on a journey, Lord, look at me telling on myself. You're gonna have to get you a Betty Wright. Betty Wright say, "My baby and I are back together again. The loving is better than it's ever been. But if it wasn't for the trial, she took you, and it wasn't just the lyrics that took you down the emotional. When you just listen to how she said the lyrics, how she phrased the lyrics. If it wasn't for the trials we've been through, she's explaining to you, the thing. This ain't no vocal class. So I'll dial that back a bit. But we talking about divas that just don't disappoint. When Betty Wright sang that song about her very first time, you got all of those emotions in there. You got it from when she was talking about what her mom said. I know you're not gonna. You get all of that, right? That emotional range in her performance. You get that live. You get that in the studio. Whereas some people have great voices, and I'm going to say this one more time. I love Kiki Wyatt. I love Kiki Wyatt. Okay, but she doesn't always give you that emotional delivery, like a Kelly Price. Even Kelly Price. I know y'all was wearing her out the other week because of her outfit. And Kelly Price, we bigger people. They always gonna have something to say, girl. Wear your clothes and cash your check and tell them people to kiss your behind. Well, you obviously told them that. And then a few other things. But Kelly Price, when she sings them songs, you're getting that emotional appeal. It's just something about the way Kelly Price sings them songs. And I think that Kelly Price is another diva that don't disappoint. I don't got her picture up here either. Uh-oh. My ultimate diva that doesn't disappoint, I don't have her picture, and I should be smacked in my, on the left side of my throat. And that would be for my Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle is my all-time favorite. But now see, the issue with Patti LaBelle gives you emotion, but Patti LaBelle does not have vocal consistency. When we start talking about vocal consistency, Patti LaBelle does not have vocal consistency. You can listen to Patti LaBelle sing a song tonight. She's going to sing it completely different tomorrow night. She's going to sing it completely different Friday night. You're never going to get the same song. That is one of the reasons why everybody be singing Lauryn Hill's praise. And I love me some Lauryn Hill. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Lauryn Hill. But I'd be like, Lauryn Hill, can we just get the original version of X Factor one time? Just one time? Can you sing it like it was on the record? The way we fell in love with the song one time? I mean, because it's just never done. So I wouldn't include Lauryn Hill on a list like this, because we're talking about divas. I'm sorry. Give me while I drink my communion mixture. We're talking about divas that won't disappoint you. You're leaving the show. You're leaving the experience feeling like you got what you came for, right? Right? And I feel like there have been times where I went to see Lauryn Hill and I'm like, what the hell is going on in the sheets in my home? It's like, baby, what the hell? Like, can you sing Killing Me Softly? Can you actually just sing it the way it goes? And yeah, we're not just I don't want to discourage nobody from going to see nobody, but I definitely wouldn't. Okay, back to the divas who don't disappoint. Back to the divas who don't disappoint. That's right. As often as you do it, you got to do it in the Memorance. Now, I don't have no Hypnotic. Hypnotic is normally my Memorance juice. That is what I use for home communion. But I don't have no Hypnotic tonight. But this is tonight's communion juice. I won't say what's in tonight's communion juice. Just know it's getting me high and lifted. Hallelujah. All right. Here's another diva that I don't think people really understand how consistent she is vocally. Live. I'm going to say live. She's vocally consistent live. And then I'm going to bring up one person who is consistent in the studio and should probably sing the show tracks. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But this diva, Toni Braxton, is a diva that does not disappoint. So far, we got Gladys Knight, right? We got Stephanie Mills. We got Jazmine Sullivan. We got Brandy. And then now we get to Toni Braxton. What makes her a diva that does not disappoint is, now Toni is going to give you a good old dance. She's going to give you a dance. She's going to give you showmanship. But Toni is going to sing the hell out of the song, but it's going to be consistent and on par with what you get on the CD. And I can't run that point home enough. This is why it's so important, artists, those of you that go into the studio, record the song in a key that you can sing in, that you can actually sing in. Some people be like, if you're doing a cover of Aretha Franklin, you need to do it in the same key of Aretha Franklin. Baby, if you can't hit Aretha's keys, lower that key. Don't be having us showing up to the show and we expecting you to say, what you want? And you get up there, what you want? It's not gonna, it's just not, it's not respecting, it's not doing what you wanted to do. Like everybody can't sing If Only You Knew in the original key, right? And quite frankly, if you're not singing it good, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. The awesome thing about Toni is the same way she sang "And I Shall Never Breathe Again" back in the 90s, she's still singing it that way in 2025. And she's killing it, right? What's that one song? Without you, I just can't go on. Unbreak My Heart. Unbreak My Heart. Toni Braxton still to this day. Now I would include clips of these songs so we could really, really dive deep into these and really, really like break these down. But the last time I included a clip of somebody famous singing something, they snatched my video down and they came after my neck. So we won't be doing that anytime out here in the Publix. Maybe I set up something on another platform where we can actually get in there and really dissect these things. But for tonight, we talking about this diva that does not disappoint. If I was to, my favorite song by her is "Unbreak My Heart," and my favorite thing to do while I listen to "Unbreak My Heart" is drink Courvoisier. Yes. Okay. Divas that do not disappoint. So far, we got Gladys Knight. We got Stephanie Mills. We got Jazmine Sullivan. We got Brandy. We got Toni Braxton. We got Betty Wright. All right. Then we got, I think I mentioned Patti LaBelle. That's cool. Absolutely. We got this next young lady who I think is like super dope. I think her and Jazmine Sullivan are saving R&B, and that's her. Her is a singer that does not disappoint. I also feel like she's underrated. I feel like her is a type of singer because she's not flashy and she's not, she's sitting up there with her guitar sometime and, she's just like chill with it. You don't realize the complication of the things that she's doing vocally until you actually start singing with it. You be like, damn, this chick is, she is singing the hell out this song when you start really trying to hit them riffs and runs with her. And what's that song she got with, she has a song with Jazmine Sullivan. Or is that Ari Lennox? I want to sit on it. Tell me why you deserve it. That's Ari Lennox. But her does have a song. I sound like I'm speaking horrible English. Her does have a song with Jazmine Sullivan. She does have a song with Jazmine Sullivan. I just can't think of the title of it. But anyway, when you start listening to it, you're like, wait, she's actually hanging with Jazmine Sullivan. Now, we know Jazmine is of another world, but her was like, you might be of another world, but bitch, I'm in a spaceship and I'm right there with your ass. But, oops. Anyway, we're going to blame that on the Kool-Aid. We're going to blame that on the Kool-Aid. Anyway, Girl Like Her. Girl Like Her. Is that really what the title? Now, she got a song called Girl Like Me and Girl Like Her. She got somebody like me in that office. You don't need nobody like me naming your songs. Jasmine, don't you have nobody in your office like me naming your song? What's up, Dozier? What's up, nephew? Her. She's an amazing singer. She's consistent. She's another one of those, if you hear it on the CD, you're going to hear it live. That's why she's a diva that doesn't disappoint, right? And I think, especially with technology nowadays, I think we should require this from singers. Especially if you are this caliber successful. If you're this caliber successful and you can't sing live, you make enough money to do a performance track. And I think we should require a live performance track from the singers that might not, like, there should be no Keith Sweats, even though he's not a diva, but there should be no singers like Keith Sweat. I love Mary J. Blige. I love her down. Listen, what I'm about to say, this is no tea, no shade. But we should not have videos of her in 2025 struggling to stay in pitch. All she has to do is do a performance track. And she can get up there and dance. She ain't got to sing one note. All you got to do, baby, is dance. And I get it. I get it. The artist in you want to still get up and sing. But when you don't have it, you don't have it. And that was like really negative. And I apologize for that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Anyway, yeah, I think in 2025 we should require that. If you can't deliver, then do what's necessary so that, you know, we can have that. We can still have that experience. Which brings me to another young lady. This Monica. I love Monica. Love her voice. In the studio, Monica is a diva that does not disappoint. Monica is a singer in the studio that does not disappoint. In the studio, Monica is going, baby, that's just why I love you so much. Baby, that's why I can't get enough. Monica is going to sing you down to the ground in the studio. She's going to kill you in the studio. But live, you know, especially here recently, and I think it's because you guys are mean on the internet. You guys are mean, and you guys will film somebody when they're not at their best and post it, and then you have innocent people like me that just be on the internet praying for people. That's all we be doing. We be praying for people because we love people, and we be watching it and praying for her while she's singing it, and she's not always doing what the song is supposed to do. But we're praying for her. Now, some of y'all be on there laughing and talking mess, but then there's those people like me. We don't do that. We be praying for her. God, help her get up to that E flat, Father. Not an E natural. Not a not a D. Not a D natural. We need her to get to that E flat or that D sharp. You know, we need her to get to that one. There are those of us that are praying that, and then there are those of you that like to point out the fact that she's not hitting the actual note that she's supposed to hit. And anyway, my point is she's a great diva in studio. But here lately, while she's preparing to go on tour with Monica, Brandy, has that tour started yet? Because I'm still on the fence about buying me a ticket, because I seen them prices and I was like, I don't pay rent. I don't pay rent for a concert. I'm sorry. And once the prices start matching my rent, I feel like we ought to be able to spend the night, you know, hear him sing that night, spend the night, get up and hear him sing a little something in the morning while we getting us a little continental breakfast. I feel like it should be more to the experience than, you know, just me sitting up here. Once the ticket prices start matching rent, I feel like there's a little more that needs to be going on at this concert. Rather than just us sitting listening to you sing. Because low key, we really could. We can do that from the comfort of our living room. IJS. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Monica, lately, she's been preparing to go on tour with Brandy. And so I've been watching a few of her videos here recently, and she has some show tracks that she's doing. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, we know you can sing, Monica. You've been singing and cutting music since the 90s, girl. Like, since I was in 7th grade. And, you know, I just graduated 2 years ago, but still, you know, you've been making music for a minute. We know you are that girl. You have nothing else to prove. Make you some show tracks and get here and absolutely get up on this stage with these show tracks and give us a show. Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree, David. These ticket prices are way too high. If I can't move in and spend at least 2 nights or at least a good night there, I'm not paying that much just to go here. You sing. Low key, I'll just wait. Somebody gonna post it on TikTok or somebody gonna post it if it's real good. Somebody gonna post it somewhere and I'll watch it and fool la la around to it then. Praise the Lord for the Kool-Aid. All right. I'm gonna name this last person and finna get up out of here. Last diva that did not disappoint. And I know people had a problem with this diva because she had an attitude. Yes, she had an attitude. Her attitude was stank. She was a diva in every sense of the word. She was her. And I be laughing at her interviews when she had to check the interviewers and stuff. She was definitely that girl. But let me tell you something. When she got on that stage and she got to singing, Mother gave you everything that needed to be given, okay? And that's none other than Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin gave you what needed to be given. Refill? I don't know if I need a refill. I got a funny story. Maybe I need to do a story time at that time. I was on here. Pastor DJ, are you watching? Is Pastor DJ watching? I was on here with Pastor DJ, and I hope he's not watching. And I got like really drunk, and Pastor DJ was my co-host. And I remember my sister texted me. My sister Janaire, she may be watching too. But my sister Janaire texted me and was like, get off that internet right now. You're on that show with that pastor. I was drunk, so I always monitor my alcohol intake while I'm in front of the peoples of God, because we don't want another we don't want another mishap of that. But you know what? Big ups to Pastor DJ, because he handled that like a pro. He was taking them off the wall, because y'all think I'm unfiltered now. Hallelujah. You wait till my Patron kick in, and then there's a little mess. Anyway, back to my Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin was going to give you everything that needed to be given while she was on stage. And low-key, she is the prototype. I know people don't like to give her that type of props. A lot of people like to say it was, what's that rolling on the river lady? Tina Turner. And Tina Turner was that girl. Don't get me wrong. Tina Turner, ooh. But then DJ came through and he laid hands on everybody. And Pastor DJ cast that, he cast that drunk demon right out of me. No, he didn't. But he did answer all them crazy questions I was throwing at him. All right. She is the prototype, and a lot of us like to say it was Tina Turner, but I like to say it was Aretha Franklin. When she got on stage, she gave you the song. When you listen to her sing Respect, now she may have gotten there different ways. She was creative. You know, she may have gotten to them high notes different with a different approach, but much like Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin is going to give you that high note in Respect. You're going to get that every time. Consistency. That's why, again, some people, even though they're good vocalists, I wouldn't put them on this list, because one person who should be on this list is Coco from SWV. That's why I wish my Uncle Kai was here. He would have helped take me a task for that. Yes, Pastor DJ is very spiritual. And he would, even back then, he would be getting me together, y'all. So I don't want y'all to think he was behind the scenes telling me, get on there and get drunk. He would not be doing that. He would not be doing that. Pastor DJ would take me to hold me accountable for who I am in the Lord. Anyway, back to this. Aretha Franklin, the difference between Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle is Aretha Franklin is going to give you the show. It's much like when I said you have the Gladys Knight and the Stephanie Mills versus like the Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan is going to give you them vocals. Shaka is going to give you them vocals, but it's not going to always be consistent, is what I'm saying. You know, Shaka you don't know how she gonna sing the song. So sometimes you can't sing with her. But every time Gladys get on the stage, every time Aretha get on the stage, you're gonna be able to say, looking out on the morning round, whatever that word is. I used to feel so inspired every time. Oh. But, you know, when we start talking about, maybe we could talk about creative divas next time. That's going to blow your mind. But we talk about divas that don't disappoint. When I'm, and I try to tell, sometimes I try to tell people, don't overdo it. People want to be able to have their glass in their hand and sing with you. Low key, that's why Kim Burrell don't have no number one hit. You cannot sing with Kim Burrell. She bad. Kim Burrell is bad, one of the baddest in the game, but you can't sing with her. You can't. Well, you wouldn't have no alcohol singing with Kim Burrell. What would you have singing with? You can't have a sandwich in your hand. Well, that's just being fat. What would you have? Y'all, what would you have listening to Kim? Tambourine? No, because then you'd be focused on playing. What would you have in your hand listening to Kim Burrell? Because now listen, I'm going to have me a drink when I'm listening to me some, I'm gonna have me a drink when I'm listening to me some Aretha Franklin and some Stephanie Mills and some Gladys Knight. Neither one of us. Sometimes I'm singing to my drink. We don't want to be the first to say goodbye. That's why I'm sipping on you instead of gobbling you down. Pause. What would you have in your... You can't sing with Kim Burrell. It's just too much. Low-key, she didn't have to tell that girl in church, don't sing with me. All she had to do is keep doing all them damn runs. Girl can't... Who can keep up with all of that? But that's low-key why she don't have a number one hit. Like, you can sing with Yolanda Adams. And when I say sing with, I know we're not hitting all Yolanda's notes. So don't get on here talking about we don't sound as good as Yolanda. We know we don't sound as good as Yolanda Adams. But we want to... we want to emote with Yolanda, and we want to sing with Yolanda, and we want to tell the devil to shut up like Yolanda is telling the devil to shut up. We can't do that with Kim Burrell. We got to be, you can't do all of that with damn Kim Burrell. But anyway, people want to be able to relax and sing with you. And this is why these divas don't disappoint. You can play their record at the house. You can clean to their record. You could, some of their songs you can worship to. I know that's a whole nother conversation we got to have, because you can worship to some of them secular songs. I don't care what none of y'all say. You can roll it in the car with your family and then live at the concert. You still get to sing with them because they're not going to be doing too much. These are divas that don't disappoint. I want to celebrate each of them. I also want to encourage you to go listen to their music. Don't just talk about them. Don't just post about them. Go listen to their music. Run their streams up. Layla Hathaway. And see, that's another one that doesn't disappoint. Layla is another one that doesn't disappoint. But I also want to point out something about Layla. Layla is talented enough. Layla and Jazmine Sullivan are talented enough to actually do the Kim Burrell. Like, they're talented enough to do the Kim Burrell. What do I mean? They are talented enough to sing on a level where you can't sing with them. Think about it. Some of the stuff Jazmine Sullivan does is you can tell it was inspired by Kim Burrell. Some of the stuff Brandy does, you can tell it's inspired by, but they do it in such a way, they have simplified it in such a way to where you can still sing with them while you're listening to, or while you're doing whatever it is that they're doing. It's not always about, let me just show y'all, we already know you that girl. Calm down, sing the song so we can get drunk and sing with you. And I don't mean we all just want to get drunk, but y'all know what I mean. Pure skill, absolutely. Pure skill. These women have pure skill. I want to encourage you, however you get your music. So whether it's streaming, whether it's you purchasing it on iTunes, Apple Music, however you get your music, I want you to go run these ladies' streams up, big up them, and then those of you who are watching this on the replay, if I was able to get around to it, I wanted to do a B-side. There are a lot of independent artists that are coming up now. I know Ashley J is an artist that I really, really love to hear her rendition of things. And then Angie B, you know I love me some Angie B, is another one that I love to hear. I love to listen to her music as well. Marcel Banks. So these B-side artists, if you know some independent artists, put them in there and then go run they stuff up. Listen, we're not going to be able to get nowhere if we don't support one another on our level. You'll never get anywhere if you don't learn how to support someone else and make their dream come true. Absolutely. Karen and Dorinda and Twinkie. Absolutely. I love each of them. I do. Angie B is my baby girl. Angie B. I'm gonna have to get her written, expressed permission to play her song on this show, because YouTube does not play. They will snatch your down in a minute. Absolutely. That is my shit too. Sit tight. I love what you do. I'm sorry, Angie. I know I'm in the wrong key and all that other ish. Why are you? I love me some Angie B. Listen, we'll be back next week. We may be gonna try to do this again next week. Divas who don't disappoint. Well, we talked about divas that don't disappoint this week. Maybe next week we'll talk about creative divas that blow our mind. As we move further into this thing and enjoy music. Don't forget, next week when we come, I want y'all to have your drink together. And then I also want you to go listen to these songs and these artists that we've talked about. I love each of you. I'm going to get up out of here and enjoy the rest of my Friday. You all, above all, be safe. Send a bunch of birthday wishes to my godmama, Lawana Crawford. She's turning 25 years old this week with her beautiful self. Next week, I normally go live at 9 p.m. I was a little late tonight. We're going to blame it on the Kool-Aid. Blame it on the Kool-Aid. Next week, Friday, 9 p.m., we're going to talk about divas that are creative and blow your mind, and then that's when we'll get into the Kiki Wyatts and the Patti LaBelle's and the Rochelle. We're gonna get into them. And maybe my Uncle Kyrie will be able to join us then. I really want y'all to hear him, because his playlist and artist selection is out of this world. It's gonna blow your mind when we sit down and talk. Anyway, I love y'all much. Hope to hear from you all soon. Stay in touch. Bye.